In this video, I will show you how to simplify this very complex looking expression with exponents and such. In the end, we can't have any negative exponents or anything like that. So let's start with the numerator. I've got that -3 power, so I need to do that to everything on the inside. Be careful of one thing. The 2 and the 4 are exponents. The 2 in the very front is not an exponent. It will not be treated the same as the 2 and the 4 that are powers. So this is what I'm going to have to do. Really, for a quick minute, I'm just going to leave the 2 as 2 to the -3 power. All right? I will obviously have to fix that later, but for now it's just 2 to the -3 power. Now for the variables, when you raise a power to a power, you multiply. So this will be x to the -6 power and y to the -12 power. Okay, now in the denominator, I have 2xy to the 4th power. And again, I'm going to do the -2 power to everything. Hey, if it makes you feel better, think of this 2 as being 2 to the 1 power. That way you can think of it as multiplying even that by -2, multiplying that little 1 by -2. All right, just like you do for the variables. So this is going to give me 2 to the -2 power, just like I will have x to the -6 power and y to the y to the +6 power. So that's what I have so far. Now I'm going to collect together the things that can be combined in the denominator. So in the numerator, I'm just going to keep it the same for another minute. So 2 to the -3 power, x to the -6 power, y to the -12 power. But in the denominator, I've got 2 to the 1 power times 2 to the -2 power. So I can put those together. I'm adding 1 and -2. That's -1. How about those x's, y'all? I've got x times x to the -6 power. That's like x to the 1 power times x to the -6 power. That is x to the -5 power, because 1 plus -6 is -5. Look at the y's. I've got y to the 4th power times y to the 6th power. That is y to the 10th power. So that's what I have right now. Okay, now what shall I do? What shall I do? I'm going to divide by subtracting exponents. So what I have is 2, -3 minus -1. Be careful. When you subtract a negative, you are adding. So I'm really doing -3 plus 1. So that's going to be -2. Now with the x's. I have -6 minus -5. Do you hear that double negative? This is really -6 plus 5. So that's going to be -1. Now the y's. -12 minus 10. So that's going to be -22. So this is what I have right now. In the end, anything that's a negative power, I'm going to wind up dropping down to the denominator. So this is going to become 1 over 2 squared x y to the 22nd power. Okay, or I could just simply put 4x y to the 22nd power. So this should be the answer to number 13. So on number 14, I'll do the numerator first. So a power raised to a power, you multiply. So this is going to give me u to the -7 over 8. And then v to the 49 over 16 power. In the denominator, multiplying these together, that gives me v to the 4th power. So it's time to divide these v's by subtracting. And I'm just going to do that off to the side. If I do 49/16 minus 4, which is like 4 over 1. I can turn this into 16 by multiplying by 4 over 4. So this would be 49/16 minus, no, I should have done 16. Silly goose. (16 over 16). What is 4 times 16?
64.
64. Okay, so what's 49 minus 64?
Negative 15.
So we've got negative 15/16. Okay, so that means now I have u to the negative 7/8 power times v to the negative 15/16. So if we ignore the rule about not being allowed to have fractional exponents in the denominator, we would get 1 over u to the 7/8 power v to the 15/16 power. Okay, and so we decided that we're not going to be picky about making you get rid of the fractional exponents in the denominator, so we will accept this as an answer. So bonus material, this is really for people on the internet. If your teacher makes you fix the fact that you're not allowed to have fractions in the denominator, I'm going to show you how you would do that. But you guys sitting in the classroom right here, I would accept this as your final answer. Okay, if I wanted to fix this though, here I'll change colors because this is extra material. I would fix it from this stage right here. Looking at that negative 7/8. So I've got negative 7/8. I want to add something to this, a whole number, that will give me a positive result. For example, I could add 8 over 8. That would give me 1/8. Subtracting 8 over 8 from both sides, that means negative 7 over 8 is equal to 1 over 8 minus 8 over 8, which is minus 1. That tells me that I can rewrite u to the negative 7/8 as u to the 1/8 times u to the negative 1 power. All right, negative 7/8 equals these two things. All right, so I rewrote the u's. Now I'm going to rewrite the v's. Okay, looking at that negative 15 over 16. I want to add a whole number to this that will give me something positive. Okay, I know I need something over 16. Well, I could just add 16 over 16. That's going to give me 1 over 16. If I subtract 16/16 from both sides, that's going to give me negative 15 over 16 equals 1 over 16 minus 16 over 16, in other words, minus 1. So that means I can rewrite the v as v to the 1/16 power times v to the negative 1 power. All right, so if you have a teacher that is making you keep the denominator rational, in other words, no fractional powers in the denominator, the way you would write your answer would be this way. In the numerator, we would have u to the 1/8 power and v to the 1/16 power. So the only negative exponents now are non-fractions. So we will have just u and v. So this would be the answer for a class where you have to rationalize the denominator.